Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about what is SSL and why does it really matter for your website. So sometimes when you go to a website, depending on what browser you use, you might see a little message on Chrome browser that says not secure, or if you're building your site you might be getting a warning that says your site is not secure. Or you might have heard about SSL. I might have mentioned it to you that that's something we're going to do with your website, and you might be thinking, well, what does it really matter? SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer, and it used to be about 3 years ago when people were building a website. If you didn't have e-commerce and you weren't trying to sell something on your website, you weren't taking payment, then you kind of wouldn't worry about a SSL certificate. Whereas if you were doing e-commerce, you would absolutely have it, because what it is it creates an encryption on the data. So it codes it in gobbledygook, and as it transfers it across the internet. So if the data is not scrambled and encoded, someone can intercept it halfway, which I know sounds crazy, but some people get into that. So they would, you put in your credit card payments, and on the way to the person who's receiving the information, this person could intercept your data and then steal your credit card details or other sensitive information. So when there's a secure sockets layer, an SSL, it scrambles and encrypts the data so that people can't intercept it when it's going from here to there. Now, most domain and hosting will just put the SSL on for you now, but the people that I use for hosting, there is a sort of manual step that I have to go through to get that active on your site. So in the very beginning, when your site's getting set up, it might say this is not secure, and then once we've set up once we've activated the secure sockets layer, it will say. And also, if you're just browsing on the internet and you see something that says not secure, it can be a bit confusing. Like, you might think, oh my God, what's going to happen? But basically, if you're not submitting any data, if you're not putting any of your details onto that website, it's probably perfectly fine just to browse that website. So now I'm just going to do a screen share and show you exactly how that looks and what to look for with your SSL. Okay, now when you come to a website, if you're in Chrome browser, so that is there's Safari and Chrome and Firefox and Outlook Explorer. It just depends what kind of computer you have. Chrome can be installed on any computer. The icon just looks a bit like this, and it's free, and you download it, and that just lets you access the internet. That's the main job of the browser. But I really like Chrome because it has these things called plugins, and it also always alerts me if a site is not fully secure. So my certificate's valid, I've got some cookies, and I can look at the site settings. Now, you may go to a site like this one, for instance, and it says not secure. Now look, these guys have a shop, and I'm really surprised that they don't have an SSL, but let's see what it says about it not being secure. I shouldn't enter any sensitive information, like credit card information, right? So there's a chance that actually their shop would take me into a different URL. So that's right, if I go to shop, then we can see it has the little lock, which means this is a secure connection, and happy days. And similarly, like, I do have pages where people would pay for things, and those pages have a secure sockets layer. So using Chrome is a great way to kind of get your head around whether the site you're on is actually secure. So interestingly, these guys obviously have different SSL on different pages of their site. And another way you can test it if you're not sure is you can copy this URL, and then you can go into like a notes doc and just paste it in. When you click paste, you'll see the whole URL. So here we can see HTTP, there's no S. And so that means that it doesn't have a secure sockets layer, whereas this one, if we copy it, I'm pretty sure it'll have the S. See, HTTPS. So that's one way you can identify, like, if you don't have Chrome and you still want to know whether a website has their SSL certificate before you enter your payment details or any other sensitive information. Yeah, it is not hard to get your SSL activated. You just have to check with your host or your website developer. If yours is showing up as not secure, you can talk to them and make sure that you know, that your pages do have the SSL activated and that they're working well. Awesome. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, just pop them in the comments below. And if you need a hand with your website getting your SSL set up, feel free to get in touch with me. I do help people with websites and marketing strategy and all kinds of things. So you can just book a free chat with me. The link for that's down below if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you could like this video, or you might subscribe to my channel if you think you like this video and you want to see more of them. But there's no pressure. It doesn't really, you know, I'm here for you. So if that works for you and that's helpful, that's great. And I really appreciate your time. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.